Hello. I thought I'd do a quick review just because you're posting your replay code right towards the end of the season, so it'll expire tomorrow. I'm going to try to keep it brief. The main thing, I just watched the whole defense a little sped out just to kind of look at patterns. The main thing that I see that's sort of a problem for you and that you could probably improve on to climb a little more is that you're just like really passive. You don't really look for angles, like to open up angles or to control the map yourself with your damage. You're kind of waiting in the back here for the fight to come to you. So if your team, pretty common with D.Va because she's so good at off-angling on high grounds, is to like to hold the cart like here. So D.Va can be up here, or here, or here. And you have line of sight on some of that. But you're also a little like, come and get me. And the main thing is you don't really have any eyes on the enemy team. So you're not doing as much damage as you could. So I wonder in this fight if you had been somewhere like here to open a map. Right? Because you can always back off that way. Or even if you want to be like kind of aggressive, look to do damage through the window here and then disengage with a nade. But you're not putting yourself in a place to use your cooldowns to win the fight. You're kind of playing not to die and not to lose instead.
Stay focused. We have everything.
On top of that, like, our DPS isn't in place yet. I like that you do look for damage. I'd really be looking, as they come through this choke, I'd really be looking for a nade on these guys. I appreciate the thought on that, but kind of a low value nade, right? He's already disengaged and uses cooldowns to do that. And their tank is in now and looking for you. Probably a bit more value to use the nade a little later when you can really make a play with it, right? And we also know they have Kiriko. So one thing we want to do is try to, for example, hit sleep on a tank, so then she cleanses it, and then we hit them with the nade, right? Or the other thing you can do is try to hit an early nade. This is really good versus Kiriko. Your nade cooldown's shorter than her bell. And so, yeah, the first nade won't do all that much, but the second nade will, right? And again, like, a little tenuous relationship to cover here. You could probably hug your positioning a little better instead of opening such wide angles, especially against a Hanzo and a Zen. But the main thing is, like, if you're standing here in the middle of the fight, the other team is going to want to look at the tank, right? If we look at Zen, right? Looking at D.Va. So if they see you, you're a higher value target. If they're smart, they'll swap over to you. See the other soldier, right? So you get some spam towards you, playing in that position. Probably a better disengage. It's hard to say because your D.Va makes kind of a dumb call here. But I would be looking for a more creative off angle. Here, coming up the stairs. Here is really strong with some cover, and even there's a mini down there. Yeah. Or if you're going to play this angle, you might as well play it all the way back here. Right? This is kind of, if I had to guess where you'd be standing and I was Genji or something, I'd be looking for you about there, right? You're kind of, instead of off-angling, you are main angling. That makes sense? And we're also not quite keeping track of our main tank, Right, it's over there. We're kind of not going to heal much for soldier, low value again, right? He's not in danger of dying, and honestly, if he takes a Zen shot or a Hanzo shot, we're probably not going to be able to save him, but we can save our diva by coming back here and like pinging in the back. And look at that, we could hit a nade there too. So it's just like finding yourself in the right place, and then again, like, we have our sleep up, we have our nade up, we didn't use them, right? I like the sleeps you hit on this Ryan whenever you charges, so they're really good. I'd be just immediately hook the nade at this, right? If you see a group like that, you have lost your tank and a DPS, you need to make them back off somehow so they don't just like take this bridge. Like, quick scope the Kiriko or the Genji. I don't think your aim is like terrible. It's not that great, but it's not terrible. And again, I'm kind of playing main angle, right? And hoping jumping will save us. Right? Now you disengage. Be looking to do the same things from here, probably. Or if you think the round's going to push into here, you could be here. Or honestly, when you disengage, once you lost the point, I would be looking for an off angle, like up here. This gives me... That's part of the reason you don't get a lot of value from nade is you're not in like a good place to hit them, right? Here, I can snipe at the Zen. I could come over here, maybe snipe at the cart. Maybe draw someone's attention. Or come up here. It's a really good sight line. And then, as the cart's pushing under, shoot for a bit. Once it gets to about there, you can come in, nade him from behind, right? Ryan is really strong against people who play main if you can't shoot around his shield or over his shield, and that's why high ground is so strong. But I don't really see you control high ground really ever in this game. A little quick scope. I would immediately need that because Ryan's going to drop his shield to swing. And Kiriko's looking too, right? And it'll heal your team. Now we're looking... Okay, so we switched Doom. I like that nade. But I would have been looking for follow-up. No one's going to get you here. Right? You kind of immediately run all the way to the furthest back point you possibly can be at. Which gives up like a lot of the map. And even though you're a support, right? One of your big jobs on Ana is to lay down basically constant spam from people who are trying to take dangerous angles. So anyone up there, anyone this way, anyone, ideally, if you have more of the map, up here, yeah? So imagine if, with your Dune taking this, if you'd come up these stairs, right? There's a Genji out there. I think Doom would probably go up and fight him. Yeah. So you and Doom together could push this Genji out. But really what you're after is these guys hit a nade and then hit one shot in his and you can solo him, right? He's an easy kill for Ana. Or force the bell out, right? And then disengage. Hit a sleep on Ryan from behind him. The other thing, let's concede that you're like all the way back here. We could look for a play on this angle. Get behind his shield when he moves a little forward. He charges, we go wide, kill these guys. Or draw their fire. Or the safe play, maybe here to have line of sight on our doom. Draw Ryan away from his team. Off-angling means that someone who's pushing main needs to choose if they're going to go chase you or go into the team, right? And you get value. If they don't chase you, you get value on the people behind them, right? And if they do chase you, hopefully your team gets value. And you have the tools to survive that. I like the sleep. Very good. And an okay ante, so it gets cleansed. Our Genji is so close to Blade, I would honestly just nano him right now. Very well. Hit the ante and it's fine. And we whip the ante, basically. We go back. Let's check this out. Ante cleanse. These guys are all balled up. You kind of know when you nano that Zen's gonna trance, right? We haven't forced it out. You can force it out by trying to kill him. We hit the nano. These guys are gonna group up. What happens to the nade here? Cleansed. Right, we waited just a little too long because we were in such a passive place and we were like trying to make this play from like deep main, right? But nobody is controlling this at all and nobody's threatening it, right? Imagine if you'd been up here. Easy nade. And yeah, you're saying, okay, they had the bell. This is all like if you had nanoed and then immediately naded. Because Genji's going to get a bunch of burst, right? But yeah, anyway. We just need to be a bit more proactive. Doing okay, the duel we could have quickscoped the Genji probably. And we're kind of like, if one piece, playing here, if one piece of our team falls, so we're really easy to find, right? And so they clean you up pretty quickly because of that. So right here, we're looking to contest, right? No reason to nade there. I'm looking for the cart at this point. I don't know if maybe you're afraid you're not going to hit your shots or what, but no one was critical. They're not really taking much damage right now, right? When the cart comes around a corner, like towards the end of the point, people are naturally going to group up. So your hope is to hit a nade on more than one person. And you also know, because it's Kiriko, she's trading her bell for your nade. So I would be looking to hit like an early nade this way. Probably on whoever, try and get the bell out. Flank, second nade. He's not even looking this way, right? You could also sleep him. I think you hit this sleep too. No. I think that's a fine nade. We could kill these guys. Right? You're not doing anything with this rotation. You had a super good line of sight here. Sleep the Hanzo out. Yeah, it's looking towards you. But if they're all looking towards you, they're not looking at the cart, right? But we had these guys unawares. The anti-nade and the Genji is fine on the blade, but also if you hit a nade here, you could have killed Zen at least. Probably Zen and Kiri, or Zen and Hanzo. Or gotten the bell out, right? We're kind of playing not to lose instead of playing to win. Okay, and here. If our team's gonna do this, that's fine. But then we need to take an aggressive angle to match their aggression, right? Coming up here would be a really good option. Gives us some spam angles. Here is not going to give us much because of the cover, right? Here would be okay. A little dangerous, but maybe okay. Up the stairs, probably, to get here, or back around a corner and jump over there. Finally, you could also play, like, here or something. That gives you line of sight on them, aggressive angle, passive angle. Right? We're kind of like, feel pretty safe here, but we're not actually by any cover, and you can see this thing is like framing you, right? You're not really going to be a hard shot for like the Hanzo. Could have maybe made a play. We look for a nade now. Almost, just missed it. That was the right thought process. Right thought process, just improve the aim. Our team's disengaged. That's fine. This choke is super good. But again, we want high ground, okay? This angle is alright. But when Ryan starts pushing forward, we're not going to have any line of sight on the other team. This is a little better. We can still get that sand. We can nade over a shield. We can go for the hero play as it's pushing forward and nade from behind. We also, from this vantage point, we can control this choke a bit, which is kind of like our principal concern, like with the Genji, is that, or the Cassidy, or sorry, the Hanzo, is that one of them's going to come here and take this dangerous angle. Can't do anything about that. It's an okay nade. Because your Jim's on a back foot and you really don't want him to die. He'll probably manage to find a way. We just chill for now. We're not going to get any value yet. Our Dean's almost certainly dead. Yep. But now we look for the nade. Right now. Don't heal this chip. I think if you had spent less time trying to track these guys and more time lining up your nade here, you could have hit a really big one. While they returned trying to deal with the Doom. That's how you play around a feeding tank, by the way. It's like, yeah, he fucking killed himself, but try to get something for his sacrifice. So look to hit a nade or kill someone who's not looking, because they're looking at your tank who's feeding his face off, right? Great sleep. But also probably should have naded. Oh, he didn't have a nade. Great sleep, best you could do. Quickscope this Genji. I don't mind that. Quickscope. Quickscope. Okay, fine. I would probably nano the Doom. Wait for this to go out. He's in. Nano Doom now. Right at the end of trance. We kind of hold our nano a really long time in this. Again, we want to look to make a play with the nano. And one thing nano does is it heals a lot, right? So it's kind of an Uno reverse card. So you want your Doom to kind of feed and then nano him before he turns around and runs. So it's like, I'm not trapped in here with you, you're trapped in here with me. This is okay, but again, we're just kind of main. You probably have trouble with Tracer because you spent so long hard scoped. Yeah, need that. That's fine. We trade. We sleep him. No tally. Nade. These guys. You could nade, get a pick on his end here. This guy's full health. You're not gonna like heal him. That guy's full health. You're not gonna do a bunch of damage to Ryan and kill him. You gotta shut down this angle, right? Supports control the map way more than a lot of people think. Bell's out. We need. Oh, you hear the bell, right? If you hear the bell go out, you need to be a little more careful with your nade. It's a good thought. I think just a little mechanics. But we're kind of main get cleaned up by the Curie there because of where we're playing, right? You see how you like kind of backed up, straight line? Not a hard shot for her. Here we go, look at it. Right. I think this is kind of stagger. You use your nano, but you've already lost the fight. So you didn't really look to make many plays. I can't point to a fight where you antied people and then they all died, right? And yeah, you're playing into Kiriko, so partially you're going to be trading for the bell, but again, your cooldown's shorter, so look to spam it, hit something early, and then hit the the backbreaker one. Okay. So you're playing with this is a weird comp. I don't know what the Lucio's for. But everyone's really, really independent. A Widow you'll have to check on occasionally. Probably you'll get a lot of value if you notice Hog is healed, pocketing him, trying to hit an anti when he hits a hook. I want to look at just a little bit of your attack because I feel like this is kind of a lot that we've covered. Right away, these guys are... That was a very dangerous run out, what you just did. I would probably be like... bloop, like that. Check that, or maybe just that. It's a very dangerous peak. And Zen was looking for a charge shot. Once I see them, come back, nade those two guys, right? On is really strong if you nade people on off angles. Even into Kiriko, because she has to decide, do I like teleport out there and bell them, or do I stay focused on my tank? And against, like, for example, a Mercy Pocket, like carry DPS, Mercy Pocket stereotype, just nade the DPS. People already focus the DPS when they should be focusing the Mercy. You can just anti-nade the DPS and help your team kill him instead of uselessly shooting him while Mercy yellow beams. Not quite a quick scope. Nice sleep. Nice. Am I fast? No. I would be looking for damage now. They're running back, right? Like, there's no reason for you to back off. There's no one looking at you. Probably this angle is good. So at least you can maybe shoot the Sojourn, especially when she jumps. And keep tabs on your team, and if they push forward, you can heal them. And your main job in this next fight is going to be to keep this high ground clear. Alright. So again, a little passive. Not the worst, it's not like egregious, but like you could be in a place to finish off that Kiriko right now. This is fine. You're the one pushing the payload. Oh, Genji's on a payload. The other thing is, like, 2 people on a payload, not much value. If someone's gonna push it, it is kind of like, I don't know, a little platinum gold kind of thing. If someone wants to push it and you're an Ana, I know, like, people are like, oh, supports push payload. Someone else is gonna push it. Take a better angle. Right? You're always evaluating, like, am I getting value? If I'm not getting value, you need to move to a place where you get more value. And then kind of awkward rule, if you haven't seen this video, it's really good, of if they move forward, you move back. If they move back, you move forward, right? It's kind of a different way of saying the same thing. And then also, as the payload moves towards the end, it's no longer your job to push it. Once it gets about here, you want to put space between yourself and the payload. Reason being is the enemy has to touch the payload, and also to win a fight, they probably have to kill you. And you want to make them decide, you know, do I contest the payload or do I try and dive this Ana? It makes it riskier for them, and it gives you breathing room to just land your shots. Probably, this is a little mainy for me. That's not very good. I would be looking like here. And then loop around, maybe the off angle if they push through. If we push them back, take this next corner. Right? Your other option would be maybe a little creative, would be to go under here. Or if you'd been like proactive a little while back, it's really strong when you win this first fight to come up here as Ana. Gives you great line of sight and a good angle for your nades. I don't understand the sleep there. I guess we're looking for Reaper, quickscope him. So again, passive nade. Hog's full health. He also has his breather, right? We need to be using our nade to shut these guys down. Also, they switch Pharah. We want to be kind of back. Let's sleep this guy, yeah. We know he's going to cleanse. Yeah, fair. What I was going to say is we know they have Pharah. That's an angle you control, right? You're up here. She can't fly anywhere without getting spam. You're back here. She can't move on you without getting spammed, right? Kind of let ourselves get caught up in a fight we didn't need to be involved in, like in the mix. You're going to cap this? Yeah, okay. Blah, blah. Great nade. Nano. That's fine. Great. Great nade. Quickscope. Quickscope. Okay, we're not going to get a kill. That's fine. That's fine too. Now, you know this Zen is like trans both of your blades, and one you nanoed, one you didn't. So what to do? Hit your... Be in a place to hit a good nade. Again, this is like kind of passive, right? We're just kind of main anyone who's coming to clear out the payload. Pharah especially will have an easy angle on you. At the least, probably do the same thing from back here. That's even more passive, but safer. Or if we had had presence of mind earlier, we could have come up around, had this. And that also gives us, versus the Brine, it helps us help our Genji here, it gives us a really good nade angle, access to the back line here. Versus a Pharah, you just want to always make sure you're keeping track of where she is. Nice. First fight we've won with a nano, I think. And here, okay? As the payload's coming in, these guys are pushing it. Move the fuck back. So they can't just move the payload. Ryan has to decide if he's going to try and pressure you instead of you being where he already has to be. This is a really good spot. This is a sneaky good spot. Because it gives you a good nade angle, and you can't pressure angles as much as you might like, but you got a really good nade angle and you're really, really safe, right? Or something like this. It's alright, although that makes you a target for the Zen, and you gotta be careful about him. I think we're still gonna get this. Cool. Alright, so this is probably already a little longer than I intended, but kind of the main things are you need to start looking for more off-angle-y places to play from, better sightlines, and being proactive instead of reactive, instead of sitting main kind of where the cart's going to go and just trying to heal chip as much as you can. You need to be in a place where you can deal damage and control line of sight, control their ranged DPS or Zen. Probably kill the Junkrat if he's doing that, like mind burst, jump over the top thing, control the Pharah. Your job is really to lay down a bunch of covering fire for your team, and then also heal them. But Ana is really high burst healing, so you don't need to worry so much if someone's like a third health or something like that. You can always quickscope and burst them back up to full unless they're hit by something that you're not going to be able to heal anyway. And then the other thing that like really stands out to me is your nades. You don't get very good nades. A big part of that is you're not in a place to easily hit them. Which again, high ground a lot more, off angle a lot more, and just like being more aggressive. Like you're not really gonna climb if you're depending on your team to make plays. You need to make plays, and on support, you have a lot of power to do that. You can, as I said before, hit like a carry pocketed DPS. Big problem if you're on DPS, but if you're on Ana, you can hit him with a nade and then kill him, right? And the Mercy can't do anything, and then she tries to res and you sleep him, right? I think your aim is a work in progress. I'm not sure if there's PC or console. I'm a console player myself. So I don't know if I have really any tips for that other than go for quickscopes more. Stop doing quite so much no scoping, because it's already harder to hit and you're not very good at hitting it. And it takes only a moment more to quickscope in when you really need to finish someone, especially. It's fine for like healing a chip or if you're confident, like 80% confident in hitting the shot. But there's a couple times where you're not being pressured, and you could take that extra moment to just really make sure you hit the shot and finish off a few more targets. And then for nanos, I think we kind of lost the defense because we held on to nano too long after we didn't use it for blade. So look to use it for something else. Doom is a pretty good nano target. Cassidy is a good nano target. It is a pendulum swinging ult, like you want to use it mid-fight when you might lose, but you haven't yet. It's not very good at saving a completely lost fight. And so using it like coming out of spawn is not really where we want to be, especially because as Ana, like you get them like every fight and a half or so if you're doing enough damage and healing adequately. Sleeps are pretty good. Sometimes you spam it a bit when maybe you could hold on to it, but you did really make this Ryan's job hard hitting your sleeps, so good job on that. Hope that helps. Let me know if you have questions about positioning, but it's really It's going to always be dynamic and based on who can threaten you, but you need to take more free space and be in slightly more aggressive positions where you can make sure the enemy team can't just like hang out in places where they want to be. All right? Hope that helps.